welcome to my channel. My name is Chelsea and I make home decor and self-care content. Today we are going to be doing a thrift flip, and this is actually really exciting because if you go to the thrift store, you know that you might have something that you're looking for, but there's no guarantee that you'll really find it, or even if you're looking to do a project in specific, there's no guarantee that even if you find an item that it'll really work for your project. So the lamp section is an area that I constantly look at when I go thrifting. I'm like addicted to lamps. Hello, my name is Chelsea. I'm addicted to lamps. I just love them. They create such a great ambiance in a room, and you can change out your lighting depending on the mood. So I love lamps. I have been eyeing some very expensive lamps lately, but I will not spend the money on them. So I've been looking for the perfect lamps to use to do a thrift flip, and this day was just the day that it worked out. So let's get started. The first clip that you're probably going to see is actually me in my car when I found them. I was not even filming in the store for anything, so it was such a surprise that the first clip is actually from my car after when I found them. So let's get started and do this thrift flip. You guys, guess what? I think a video was just born. I just came out of the thrift store and I found two lamps that I'm pretty sure I can do a thrift flip on, and I want to do a dupe for those pottery type lamps that you've probably seen from Restoration Hardware, Pottery Barn. I have wanted one of those for so long, but they are like $300. Oh, there's just no circumstance where I ever spend that amount of money on a lamp, no matter how much money I would make. And if you're able to and you want to, like, good for you. I'm just not down with it. I'm not down with it. So I think we're gonna take these lamps home and start a new video and see if we can't make these $7 lamps look like $300 lamps. So let's go home, I'll show you the lamps, and let's get started. Okay, you guys, these are the ceramic lamps that I got at the thrift store that we're gonna do a little DIY with if I don't break them first. But they are matching, so that's pretty dang exciting. But they're that shape of the lamps that I've been seeing that are so darn expensive. So I think this is gonna be a pretty simple DIY. I have to first make sure they actually work. So I'm gonna grab an extra bulb and plug them in and just make sure. All right, moment of truth, fingers crossed. No! Really? Oh no. You guys, this might be a situation. Shoot! Does the other one work? You guys, I am such a freaking idiot. I plugged the cord to the other lamp into the wall, and presumably that is why the lamp did not turn on. I don't even know what to say for myself. Let's get the right lamp plugged in and see if this works for real. We're gonna screw this in. I can't even believe I did that. I don't know what to say about myself. Yay! Okay, she works. One down. Let's try out the other one. Oh, okay. Okay, so I am just mixing up the paint here. If you guys are DIYers, if you look for dupes or anything like that, then you're probably very aware of the textured paint trick, which is just paint mixed with some baking soda. And I've seen different measurements for this. I do not measure it. I am much more of like an eyeballer and just kind of go until I like the consistency. and then we go from there. Right, so we are pretty much there. It's a pretty decent, chunky consistency. All right, so now that we have our paint ready, we are gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna try to start at the bottom and just kind of mimic the natural direction of the ceramic lamp itself, which is in a circular motion. I'm trying not to get paint all over the bottom, which is like a fabric. If we get a little bit, that's okay. And then I'm also gonna do my best to not get it all over the cord. I will probably go back with a small brush to go around the cord area, so I'm not really gonna worry about that too much at this time. I wish I could just kind of like temporarily just like take the cord off. And there probably is a way, I don't know what it is, and I don't really want to mess with it. So we're just gonna go ahead and paint this all the way around in a circular motion, and yeah, until we're done. Okay, so we have our first layer of each painted, and the first layer is not super important to me. It's really more about coverage, and I've said this in another video that I made. I'm not sure if that one's up yet, but really coverage is just the key of the first layer. Don't get too hung up on worrying about the texture, because the first layer probably won't put down a ton of texture unless you've put just a super load of baking soda in your paint and it's like super almost dry and chunky, which I don't recommend because it's not going to stick well. So the first layer is on. It's somewhat thin. If you really look closely, you can kind of see like it looks almost blue-gray coming through. So we are going to let these dry, and you're gonna come with me and we're gonna go and collect some dirt. Okay, you guys, so I am going to try to find some dirt, and this might be a little tricky because, as you can see, I live in a very like paved area, so there's a little patch of grass down here. I'm gonna try to get some dirt out of that and see if we can get enough at least just for this project. All right, you guys, so I dug up a little patch here. There's not a lot of dirt in my cup, but it's gonna have to work. I had to use my key to like dig it up. But we got enough to get the job done, so let's go back inside and get the next stage started. Okay, so we just finished layer 2, and layer 2 is where you're going to start to see and feel more of your texture in your brush as you're putting it on. And this is where I start to pay a little more attention to keeping with the sweeping circular motion, so that it keeps that shape and really looks more like a ceramic piece. Resist the urge to go super thick with your layers, because I know you're like, the thicker the better, the more it'll look like pottery or ceramic. it takes forever to dry, and I mean like forever. And it really doesn't do much for the look in my opinion. So try to keep your layers a little bit thinner, and we're going to let this layer dry. We'll see how it looks. At this point you should have full coverage. You should not be seeing whatever color was underneath coming through. And so we're gonna let these dry, see how they look. They might end up needing another coat. They might end up needing 3 more coats. It just depends. It's a work in progress. So we're gonna see how they look, and we'll come back when they're more dry. They still have some like small spots that are not perfectly dry, but we are gonna give it a 3rd coat, and this is where we're really going to try to add the bulk of our texture. And the good thing about this method is this paint, just kind of as it's been sitting, has been thickening up, and just because it naturally dries a little bit. So this is really, I mean, look at it, it's its chunkiest. So that's gonna give us our best texture. And as I go on here, this is where I'm going to let the layer be just a little bit thicker, because this is going to be the final layer of paint. We're going to kind of start to get in here with some dirt. Actually, we're gonna stay the course. We're gonna do the 3rd layer. We'll come in with the dirt at the end. Okay, 3rd layer. Okay, so we are almost at the end here. They are mostly dry. I mean, I can put my hand on and no paint comes off. I do have paint on my elbow, I think, as you saw. So now I'm going to get my dirt, and I don't have a lot of dirt in here. I don't live, it's like all paved. There's like barely any grass. So I didn't have a lot of dirt to find, but we're gonna make what we have work. I'm going to kind of rub my fingers. I like to start with like a less is more approach. And I'm gonna kind of like push this in a line or like a circle, kind of like we did with our strokes, and just kind of rub it in. You know what? Maybe I should kind of see what I'm doing a little better. So I'm just, like I said, taking little bits of dirt and rubbing it along here, kind of in swishing motions. And I don't worry too much about how it looks at first. I just kind of want to get it on here. We can diffuse the lines, add some, kind of rub it off more as we see fit, but I just want to get started. we are just going to come in here and sprinkle a bit more dirt on it and just come in and continuously rub to really age these bases. And I don't want mine to be super chunky in texture or anything like that. After these have dried, I really decided I want them to be a bit more smooth. So instead of going in with one final layer of paint, I'm going to kind of leave them here like they are, with a bit of a smoother texture. I do really like the way they came out. I want to get up in this area with a little more dirt, because if these were authentic pottery type pieces or ceramic, this is an area where they would kind of naturally age. I'm going to try to bring it in here a little bit so you can see anywhere where there is like a bend, you would expect natural aging in a spot like that. So I'm gonna get up in here and try to get in these little grooves and really make it look as authentically ceramic as possible. And then I think we're gonna spray and be almost done. So let's get that started. All right, guys, we are outside now, and whew, it is hot out here. It's already like 90 degrees, so I need to get these lamps sprayed and get back inside. I am going to use this Krylon clear finish. It's a protective coating, and I'm using it in the matte finish to really keep the ceramic-like texture and look on the lamps. I brought one down to do one at a time. I don't want to be trying to carry them both up while they're like sticky and wet, although this does dry relatively fast. So let's get this first one sprayed and get this process started. All right, guys, always make sure you give your can a really good shake. We're gonna fire off a little test run here, and we're just gonna start spraying here. It is going to look more wet, as you can see from the texture, but it is going to dry down in a matte finish, so don't worry too much about that. Keep your coats light. You don't want to go super heavy with this, and we're just going to go around and spray each part of it, and then at the end I will flip it over and do the bottom. All right, guys, we are back inside. The lamps are behind me. They are going to dry for a little bit, and you don't have to do that step if you don't want to seal them. They look beautiful either way, but I had the Krylon on hand from other projects, so I figured why not try to give them a little extra staying power. So totally up to you if you want to. They look beautiful without the cover, like the seal and spray, but we're gonna let these dry, and last but not least is going to be showing you the shades and then the reveal. Okay, so this is the like linen-y type of shade that I found at the thrift store. I think it is absolutely beautiful, and I was able to get 2 of them. I'm sorry, it's not focusing well. And each one was only $3. So this total project is going to be $7 for each lamp and then $3 for each shade, which would be a total of $20 for the project, $10 each lamp, which I think is an absolute steal. I can't believe I was able to find these shades. They're the same type of shape that you really see sometimes with these lamps. So what a steal. All right, you guys, the lamps are dry. I'm going to quickly put them together and let's do the reveal. All right, you guys, that is it for this Pottery Barn Restoration Hardware inspired lamp thrift flip. If you guys love DIYs and making your home look, bougie on a budget, please follow along with my channel. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!